Hello students, I am Dr. Rahul Mene of Sri Shankaracharya Mahavidyalaya Bhilai. Today we are going to see uh, the topic the tenses and aspects. So let us start with simple present tense. As we all know, it is also known as the timeless present. Simple present tense is used when you are referring to habitual actions, actions that you always or never do. When you are referring to unchanging truths, when you are making general statements of facts, we can see this from the examples. Habit, he always comes late to class. Unchanging truths, the sun rises in the east. General statement, they are friendly. So these are the few indicators through which we can understand the simple present tense concept. Always, whenever, every day, usually, often, frequently, sometimes, rarely, occasionally, never. Now, look at the forms of the simple present tense. I study, you study, she, he, it studies, we study, they study, I wait, you wait, similarly, we wait, etc. Now, we can very easily understand through this diagram, which is based on a time on a line. It has been divided into a graphical format. On my left hand side it is written as past, and on my front end it is written as now, and on the right hand side it is written as future. Now we can understand from this diagram. Now the simple past tense. The simple past tense is used when an activity or situation began and ended at a particular time in the past. In other words, when an activity or situation is completed in the past. To refer to the past habits, examples: completed action in the past. He was late to class yesterday. We arrived 3 weeks ago. She always wrote a letter to her mother on Sunday night. Now the indicators are last night, week, year, month, Saturday, semester, etc., yesterday, ago. Now the form are I studied, I waited, you studied, you waited, she, he, it studied, she, he, it waited, we studied, we waited, they studied, they waited. Similarly, we can understand this from the diagram, past, future, now, same diagram. Now, next, the present perfect, a tense which is very commonly used in English to refer to the past, as we all know it. The present perfect is used when an activity happened at an unspecified time in the past, that means before the present. When an activity has been repeated several times before now, and when an activity was very recently completed before now. So three categories: unspecified, repeated, and recently. And fourth one, when an activity is not completed in the past. So examples: they have already seen that movie. Unspecified time, before now. Repeated activity, before now. The example is, we have visited Hyderabad city many times. An action has recently been completed, before now. I have just eaten. Action not completed in the past. I have studied Russian for many years. Now the indicators are before, ever, never, so far, already, yet, just, recently, for, since. Now the first form, have or has, plus past participle. I have studied, I have seen, you have studied, you have seen. Similarly, it has studied, he, she, it has seen, we have studied, we have seen, they have studied, they have seen. Now the second form, I have walked, I have grown, you have walked, he, she, it walked, we, they. Similarly, on the right hand side, you have grown, she, he, it's grown, we have grown, they have grown. Now, the diagram which shows the time on a line is we have been shifted to present, past, and now we are shifting towards the future. Now the past has been question marked. Okay. The present progressive tense, it is also called the present continuous tense. The present progressive tense is used when an activity is in progress now at the moment of speaking. When an activity began before now and continues into the future without stopping. When an activity is temporary. When an activity is developing and changing. Examples: I am explaining something to the class right now. She is taking 20 credits this semester. She is understanding English more and more because she moved into the dormitory. Now the indicators are right now, at this still moment, this year, week, as we speak, month, etc. Now the forms: I am studying, you are studying, you are studying. The short forms are given at the right hand side. We are studying, they are studying. Same is the forms. Now similarly with this diagrammatical structure, now, past, future, again same thing. It has moved to this part. Now the last one, the future tense. The future tense is used to indicate that an activity or event will take place at a time in the future. Now examples: when I am retired, I am going to travel. Next week we will work on punctuation. He is going to get his car fixed tomorrow. Our plane departs at noon next Friday. Now the indicators are tomorrow, next Saturday, week, month, year, etc. Now the first form, I will stay. Similarly with the shorter format, you will stay, she, he, it will stay, we will stay, they will stay. Now the second form, I am going to stay, you are going to stay, he, she, it is going to stay, we are going to stay, they are going to stay. Now the third form is sometimes the simple present tense or the present progressive tense are used to express a future meaning. Usually these tenses are used when scheduled events are being discussed. Like I arrive, I am arriving. You arrive, you are arriving. She, he, it arrives. She, he, it is arriving. We arrive, we are arriving. They arrive, they are arriving. So, when we talk about the future tense, so the other English verb tenses are, these tenses are combinations of the tenses we have just reviewed. Now the past perfect, this tense is not used a lot. It can often be used interchangeably with the simple past because these tenses do not differ much in meaning. The past perfect tense refer to activities that happened before a specific time in the past. Examples: he had visited her many times before she died. For had plus past participle. So next, past progressive. This tense is used to refer activities which is continuously in progress around a time in the past. Examples: they were eating when the taxi arrived. The form is was or were plus verb ing. Now third one, past perfect progressive. This tense is used when an activity was continuously in progress before a specific time in the past. Examples: I had been thinking about her before she called. The form are had plus been plus verb ing. Now present perfect progressive. This tense is used to describe actions that have been continuously in progress before now. These actions are not completed. Example: I have been waiting here for the last 2 hours. The form is have or has plus been plus verb ing. Now future perfect. The future perfect expresses the idea that an activity will occur before some future time. Examples: she will have finished dinner before the game starts. The form will be will plus have plus past participle. Now future progressive tense. This tense is used to refer to activities that will be continuously in progress around some future time. Examples: we will be flying over New York at noon tomorrow. The form will be will plus be plus verb ing. Now future perfect progressive. This tense is used to refer to activities that will be continuously in progress before a future time. Example: he will have been working for 3 hours before you arrive. Will have been plus verb ing. So if we overview of this whole English verb tense structure, you will categorize this into simple, perfect, progressive and perfect progressive. So in perfect we have plus verb, in progressive verb plus be plus verb plus ing, and in perfect progressive have, been and verb plus ing. So all these are categorized into all these tenses. So we have seen the tenses and their aspects. So I have taken this charts for preparing the presentation, which is adapted from the work of Betty Ezer, and she is also the author of Understanding and Using English Grammar and many other useful texts which I have referred. And another very famous book, I think, which we all have studied over the years, High School English Grammar and Composition by Renan Martin, now which is revised by Dr. N. D. V. Prasada Rao, and it has been published by an imprint of SJ. So thank you.